Do you ever feel like sometimes you're just a bit over doing the work, doing the self-growth, waiting for the next thing? And sometimes in, I think, the spiritual community, there's this sense that there's this carrot being dangled, that there's always a place that you're getting to, you know, there's something coming and it's going to expand you and it's opening you up and it's doing this amazing thing and you're up leveling and the energies are changing. And you know, the thing is, it's all true. We are constantly responding to our environment, and our thoughts are powerful, and what we're interacting with is powerful, how we're feeling into the world. It all makes a difference, and it's all embedding into our experience in terms of what we're mapping out for ourselves, what we're attracting, and how we're feeling. But yeah, sometimes I think we forget to take a harvest. You know, we're busy planting seeds, setting intentions, figuring out what we're putting out there, thinking about what we're moving into and what's coming in. And yeah, just sometimes I think, well, when will it just feel really much more settled? You know, I think I was just reflecting and thinking, I don't feel like I've been feeling settled for several months now. And there's been dips and dives within that, and not always something particularly specific, just an unrest, you know, a little bit of agitation, and just, I'm not quite sure where I'm going, but I feel like I'm not there, and where I am doesn't feel like the place. And so it's not really a void as such. It's not even a gathering place. It's just a weird transition. And I think these transitions can be quite disheartening. And we're potentially going to look outside of ourselves to try to get that sense of peace and connection back again. So the workshop that we're doing today is called Arise from Within. And it just came into my head because I think it's honouring the fact that I think we've been doing all this work for a very long time, and it's about time we got to just go and sit in the garden we've created, you know, instead of constantly pruning and tweaking and waiting and wondering and going, well, that's all very nice, but I'm waiting for this stuff, or, you know, when is this other thing coming in? Wouldn't it be amazing if we could just stop for a moment and shift perspective and shift the way that we're working with ourselves and just let go a minute? Because every time I've ever almost opened a gateway for something to come into my life that I've been carefully trying to create and cultivate and craft and make happen, the times when it's actually worked, the times when it's finally come in, and it's such a cliche, but there's this sense where I've just gone, oh, do you know what? I can't be bothered to want this anymore, you know, or I can't be bothered to push for this anymore. I think I just kind of want to just sit back. I'd like to access my peace again. I'd like to just be a bit settled for a while. And, you know, maybe I can make do with what I've got for now and just see how that goes, or maybe just trust that maybe it's sorted. You know, maybe I don't have to do anything else. Perhaps it's just not quite time, and just settle down, get back in your box and get on with something that's right in front of you. And that process seems to be quite powerful. And also it's quite grounding, you know, it's relaxing and it settles you down. So that's the vibe, I think. And I don't know if you're sharing that, but I feel like it's among a group of us at least. There'll be some of us that resonate with that. The themes that we're bringing in for the workshop are really around reflecting on, notice how far you've come, notice how much you've grown already, how much you've figured, how much you've developed, how much you've matured. And not only how much you have, but why you have. And we're going to be talking a bit about something that I would call the shadow gifts, the things in our lives that maybe they've been challenging, or they've been given, as in there's an absence of this quality in a parent, for example, or in an experience that you had growing up, or there's something that you didn't have, or there's something that you had that was particularly difficult for you. And often these experiences shape us in a particular way, they steer us in a particular way, and they usually have a little hidden gem in them. And it's not about belittling any of the suffering or difficulty that we go through. It's just about reflecting in on, what am I not getting about this situation? If it still stings, if something is still raw, or it still irritates you, or it still triggers you in some way to feel hard done by, that might be where you could look to see, what's that little shadow gift? What's going on in there that I haven't quite put two and two together? And the second part is really about, where is it that you let that light come in through you just right now, not waiting for something else, not this will be better when, but right now in this moment, there'll be things that ignite you in a particular way. It's as though we all have a map in our bodies, and certain frequencies will open up doorways within that map that allow it to flow through, and then we get the feelings that we love. We get the feelings of the joy, or the bliss, or the peace, the connection. And it might be that you already know that there's loads of these things, a particular music that you listen to, or a place that you go. It might be that it's nature, or potentially being with another particular person. It might be if you paint, you do something creative, or maybe you get very focused on something in your job and it lights you up and it gets you excited and kind of passionate. Think about where that light comes in and how you've already established it in that sort of inner garden, and how, if we are removing some of the brambles, taking out some of the weeds, pulling away some of the pieces that we don't need anymore, or we've understood what they've brought to the party, we're ready to make space for the light to move through where that shadow was. And actually, the shadow has been incredibly helpful at fueling something that's important for you. These are just little points that you can reflect on. And I would love to bring you some of the energy that's coming in as we've been creating this workshop. It's very much about this kind of inner celebration of, by the way, you're already doing so well, and by the way, you're already really established, and you've done loads of work. Could you just stop and celebrate some of that a little bit? Can you just stop and tap into some of the stuff that you do? Could you let the light flow in a little bit more? Are there places where it could do with being encouraged? Because maybe you've held back a little bit because you wouldn't want to say that that's something you're really into or that you're really good at. And can you bring a bit of that light into just very normal, ordinary things, and invite a bit of extraordinary into what you've got right now? And this meditation that I put together for the workshop, it's the vibes, the frequencies were very joyful, very much about miracles, butterflies, murmuration, the frequency of pure joy and celebration. And there was one particular song that I found quite by chance that is actually the title. The title is Arise From Within, and it's something like that. And I thought, that's so funny, and it's so perfect, and it brings this lovely spirit. So I thought, I'm going to play that song, and I'm going to talk through a little bit, and then also I'm going to bring in that energy. And just as if you look into the sky, you're going to see the same sun as I'm seeing, or the same moon, wherever you are in the day, energy can move. So if you want to feel into this, just let yourself receive it. So this is going to be like distant energy, distant Reiki. If you like the idea of Reiki, I think it's energy, or it's all energy at the end of the day. So close your eyes. Let's just bring in that music and let it start dancing through your body and reminding you of your own spirit. Just let this dance. Let yourself be in your own garden, your own inner garden. Let it dance through the network of your body as if the trees, the branches of the trees are lifting you up because you've done it. You're already here. Let yourself have something for once. And there's so much light, reminding you that you're a miracle, that this is a miracle, and that you're allowed to find a bit of joy even if you're not where you want to be yet. Find some of that now. It's already there. You've already grown things inside you. Imagining your garden full, blooming, so many new buds, so much creation in there, changing all the time. Let this bring you back to life. Let it be light-hearted. Dance through your spirit, physically into your body. Let that sunshine just bathe you. And look at what you've done. Look what you've created. Look what you've survived. Look what you've made happen. You're a miracle. So many miracles already in your life, so many miracles you've created, so much you've lived through, so much you've made happen. Just remember that every once in a while. Just put down the hustle, put down the work, just let yourself do nothing, just be. And know that if you have been putting out there that there are certain things you love, that's brilliant, because that means you've got reason to keep going. You've got reason to be here. You've still got those desires, and for energy to flow, you've got to have that. Otherwise, surely there's like a dead end if you've already experienced everything you wanted to experience and you have everything that you would want to have and nothing ignites you anymore. We don't want to get there. We want to be in that place of, I love what I've got, and I'm working on some other things. I'm excited for other things coming in. And I'm also just so proud of what I've come through. And I'm going to give myself a bit of grace for the times when maybe I wish I'd done it differently, or I feel like I made a mistake, I didn't handle something very well. Just a bit of self-forgiveness. We're all learning and growing and figuring. So I hope that you got something from that, and just let that keep moving through you today. Just let that almost just seep in and be with you. Sending you lots of love. My name's Lucy, and this is the Soul Compass channel, which I run with my lovely, lovely friend and colleague, Rachel. And it's just about creating community and having a place to be, having a place to go, to explore some of this stuff with no bounds and no rules, and just always lots and lots of love. So we'll see you next time.